So we've learned a great deal about loops. And to round it all off, let's go through a quick summary of all that we've covered. Each loop, no matter the type, requires the following steps. First, initialization. Set up variables to start looping. 2, a condition check. Test if we should execute the loop body or not. And 3, change something each time we go through the loop. If we don't, we put ourselves in danger of entering an infinite loop. We've looked at 2 different types of loops so far, while loops and for loops. While loops are very commonly used. They serve a general purpose and are used to check a condition as a pretest before entering a loop. For loops can be used to iterate over the contents of any container, such as an array or string. A for loop can also be used as a count-controlled loop that iterates over a range of integer values. A loop is an example of a piece of code that executes instructions repeatedly so long as a condition is true. We looked at off by 1 errors, a common error that happens when programming loops. To avoid off by 1 errors, consider some simple test cases and hand trace your way through the code to make sure that you avoid this type of error. We looked at the definition of a sentinel value. A sentinel value denotes the end of a data set, but it is not part of the data. So for instance, if we wanted to loop from 0 to 4, 5 might be our sentinel value, that number that we're looking for, the sentinel that blocks us from moving further. It's an important piece that it denotes the end of the data set, but importantly, it's not part of the data set. We've looked at using Boolean variables to control a loop. When we choose to do that, we set that variable to true before we enter the loop, and in order to leave the loop, we must change it to false. And that would be a signal that the condition is no longer met and we exit the loop. With while loops, just as with for loops, we have the 3 pieces: initialization, condition, and update. For a while loop, we initialize variables before we test the condition. The condition is tested before the loop body. This is called a pretest. The condition often uses a counter variable. Something inside the loop should change one of the variables used in that test. Otherwise, we put ourselves in danger of entering an infinite loop. For loops are extremely powerful. They can be used to iterate over the contents of any container, which is just any object that contains or stores a collection of elements. Examples that we've already explored that could be considered containers are arrays, where we can loop through elements in the array, or a string, a container that stores a collection of characters. A for loop, as we've seen, can also be used as a count-controlled loop that iterates over a range of integer values. Of course, there's much more to learn, but that's it for now. Until next time.
Now we can already do so much.
That is so true.
We can already function pretty well.
We can.
I don't understand. What is the method of your madness?
Well, next time we'll cover methods and we'll learn how to decompose a complex task into smaller, simpler ones. See you next time.
Thanks for watching.